What has become of this city?
South Park: The Fractured Butthole, a bigger, longer, uncut sequel. The premise is, again, you're the new kid, and your friends come to get you from the previous game. They are playing a new game, and you have been demoted and need to work your way back up to the top. Your main quest is to find a lost cat and collect a reward. The game introduces you to a new grid combat from the previous turn-based combat. The game opens up quite well, through about 75%. I like the powers and being able to replace my class. You are never locked to a specific class. If you want to play as a mage at any time, you can. You eventually unlock an ability to open up more classes as you progress. There is a very open-minded view to combat variables. The items help you spec for that class, and it helps you balance out the combat based on your fighting style. The cutscenes are very well done except for the end due to the pacing coming to a halt. I found myself wanting to be done due to the repetitive nature of the bosses towards the end. The story does also get muddled as well during the end. There's a quite confusing subplot, and if you're not paying close enough attention, you can get quite lost. To be quite frank, it gets weird. Plus, there's a lot of difficult moral decisions that don't really give positive results. I found some options only affected dialogue, and they didn't affect anything else. There is a lot of illusion of choice, even if the decision doesn't really matter. The driving factor, though, even with all these weird, ridiculous plot devices and story sections, is that glue, which is a timely comedy throughout the entire game. The gameplay mechanics that stood out were the battles and the variables. Later in the game, some enemies felt not very difficult, even on the higher difficulties. A pro tip: if you want to make your hardest playthrough easier, use some Ubisoft points to acquire bonus items, which really overpower your characters and crafting. I found that there are some quick time animations that worked kind of wonky and made healing very easy. While you're defending, you are told of a timely cue to gain health back, but as of now, you can just mash the button and you will 100% certainly get health back. I found the animations did become repetitive after passing the 20-hour mark. Most trophies and achievements are obtainable. This game can be completed in one playthrough on its highest difficulty, though for this review it was completed in 2 playthroughs. This is where South Park may cross the line if you are an agenda-driven individual. The difficulties are based off skin color, and there are several situations in the game that definitely cross that line in the politically correct world we are living in today. I am on the side that this is for pure comedic tone, so I don't see myself getting offended. I will also say if you are a fan of South Park, this won't cause you to leave the show or game behind. Due to the game not being extremely difficult, it will open up people who are newer to this type of gameplay with a grid-style CRPG. I am hopeful for the DLC story expansions if they can retain this level of comedic humor. I love how the game played off the current pop culture. It really embraces the show's mentality. This is very telling due to the involvement of the creators Matt Stone and Trey Parker. There are some things that didn't mesh in the game that weren't directly story connected. The big one was battle buddies, characters that assisted you in battle. The big letdown on this was that you couldn't change their battle abilities. This let some of the battle buddies stand out, but made some characters completely ineffective. I stated earlier the bosses towards the end did hold up pacing. I wanted to state some bosses were very special and memorable. I will tread softly due to not wanting to ruin the story, but I wanted to talk about a certain battle that required me to move swiftly and quickly to keep my character from getting killed in a very funny fashion. This battle truly stuck out to me, and South Park has a lot of these little moments, whether it's comments from the characters in the show or interruptions in the middle of a battle for a car to drive by and scream at the kids. South Park was always trying to make me laugh, and I also found that follower system for selfies to be very satisfying and got me to talk to more characters and do more favors to others to gain reputation. This was the biggest standout game for me in the month of October. It was nice to see so much care taken in this IP. I feel that this is the South Park that the TV show wishes it could be. It doesn't hold your hand in the political correct spectrum and has a great combat system that makes for a quality one-liners or random events that connect all this humorous moments. I had a hard time finding a really negative feature about this title. There were some frustrating moments due to lack of preparation. That is mostly user error, and the game does remind you that you may be running into a difficult situation and you should prepare yourself properly. If the biggest negative is boss fatigue from too many bosses, in the long run, that really isn't that bad. This game is how a sequel should be done, and it functions without any noticeable bugs. This being a Ubisoft title, that is an accomplishment on its own. I have no problem telling you to buy this title, especially if you are a fan of the show. This is how games should represent their source material. I found myself constantly lost in a good way, whether it was looting houses, doing side quests, and just listening to the excellent voice work in this title. This game will be on the radar for Game of the Year due to its quality and being very abstract from what is currently out there. This game doesn't have to take itself too seriously, even with its serious subject matters layered throughout its world. This is a mature title. You have been warned. This video is a new approach to our impressions and reviews. In our final take, we'll reach out to the community members to have them partake in our final impressions. We would just like to thank our Patreon that helped us out building this review together. If you too would like to be part of our channel, check out our Patreon site or comment on our videos. As always, like, subscribe, comment, and share. We here at Broke Left Stick Games appreciate you stopping by, and we will see you soon. Thanks.